Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how to paint this beautiful nighttime winter cabin scene requested by Anna and Barbara. And what you'll need for this painting is some paint, of course, some acrylic paint, and you can use burnt umber, and you can use ultramarine blue, cad red, titanium white, and black. And the brushes you will need a flat bristle brush, probably a half an inch or an inch depending on the size of your canvas. Mine is 11 by 14, and a small flat sable brush or synthetic, and an even smaller brush for smaller details, and a couple of, or you can use a fan brush, it can be medium, and a small one if you have it. If not, I'm sure whatever you have there will be fine. So the first thing I wanted to do was do the very top first. I always like to work on sections first, and we're going to work on the top section there. So the sky part is very dark, so all you have to do is mix some black and some brown. If you don't have the colors that I mentioned, just use any brown, blue, red, some blue, and some red. That'll keep your colors nice and fresh. If you want more blue, you can. Depends on how dark you want your sky. And then just go over your sky with long strokes. See how nice and dark that is? Long strokes. Get a nice dark sky. So you're using your flat brush, flat bristle. You can also use a sable brush if you like. Get some more paint. If it doesn't mix exactly the same, it's okay, because skies have different colors in them. And there we go. Back and forth, long strokes. And that will give you a really nice blend of colors, even though it's one color. But you won't get any streaks. So get some more paint when you need it. Fill up your brush. Good. So I'm just mixing up my paints. Back and forth, long strokes. See how nice that sky is turning out? Good. So when you get that done, you'll have that much done. And then we can work on other things in the sky area. Long strokes. Good. Now see how I got a few streaks here, but I'm taking them out by going long strokes. Now what you can do next is take your fan brush and use the same color that you use for your sky. Just go into there and add some white to it to lighten it up, because now we're going to do some background trees. So the background trees are those there in the back. So what you'll have to do there is just take your fan brush and hold it so that it's vertical, and then start tapping. So you tap, 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 and just get your tops first. Get a top, and when you get your tops, leave those, but you can fill in the bottom part of the trees. And just tap along down here so we get some nice, get different heights, and that's all you have to do. When you run out of paint, just get a little bit more, because you don't want it too bright because it is in the background. Just tap, tap, tap. Good. You can go over some of the ones that you have done just to get them more pronounced and more shapely. Just tap away. Good. See how they're nice and faded out in the background? Isn't that pretty? So if you want to go over them a couple of times. When I did the painting, I went over my trees probably 3 or 4 times to get what I was looking for. So don't go thinking you tap, tap, tap a couple of times it's done. Go back over and tap on them again. Not too hard. Don't push too hard. And just tap on them till you get some nice trees. Good. And that's all you have to do for that part. See how easy that is? And we lighten some of those up now when we put the moon on there. Now, very good. There they are. See? That was done with a fan brush. So as long as you get your tops, it'll look like trees. Good. Now make sure your background is dry completely because we're going to put the moon on there. And what you'll need for this step is to get a toothpick or the back of your brush. You could use the back of your brush if you like for the stars. And something round for your, that's actually a sharpener, would you believe? So something round so that you can make a nice round moon. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my round object and I'm going to dip it in some white paint. Now I got white paint on this and I'm just going to lay it on where I want it. Touch and pull away and you have a perfectly round moon. Isn't that cool? How quick and easy that is, and it's perfectly round. So just take some pure white paint on a small flat brush and paint it in. That easy. I try to make these lessons as easy as I can for you because a lot of people who watch my videos are beginners. And you can be at this, you could actually be painting for years on and off and you still feel like a beginner. Because there's always something new to learn. So you learn from many different artists and videos and books. And there's so much to learn because every painting is different. So it's different techniques, different brushes, different ways of doing things. Now when that dries, we can repaint it. So I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to come back and repaint it so it's nice and bright and white. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my toothpick. I'm going to make some stars. So I'm just going to take my toothpick and I'm going to dip it in some white. Just the very tip of it. Just dip the very tip into some white. And just tap on some stars. And keep going until you have no more paint left on your toothpicks. That way you'll get big stars and small stars and far away stars. You can also make snow if you wanted to. Just instead of just going on the sky, all you gotta do with the snow is just go all over your canvas when you get it all finished. Or you can splatter it with white. Let's see, just keep going with the stars until there's no more paint on your toothpick. I'm just tap, tap, tapping away so you get lots of stars. Good. You put on as many as you want or least amount that you want, whatever you, this is your painting, so you decide how many stars you want. Alright, so that's good enough for me. See? Tap, tap, tap. Good. Now I'm going to give that little moon a little bit more paint. Nice bright white, so just plain white. Until you get it all on there. And try not to go outside lines because you got a perfectly round moon. You don't want to ruin the circle. Hey. Okay. Beautiful. So far, so good. So take that brush, now that it's all cleaned off, barely any paint on it, and start scrubbing around your moon. See, you can barely see it, but as you scrub in, it'll start coming to life. See, there we go. And that way you don't have too much paint on you. Now, if you're going, you don't want to go down under the trees, so just go on the side and scrub around and on top. Make a circle and go out as far as you can so that you get a glow. It looks like it's spreading out through the sky. Good. Go back in and get your, you have to scrub it on if you want to. As long as you go around and get that glow. And scrub, 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 scrub. Scrub your moon glow. There we go. It's a nice little glow. Now, so just keep doing till you don't have any more paint on your brush. That way the glow will look like it's fading off into the sky. Okay, and if you have to do some touch-ups, just go back in and scrub. Good. Wow, that's a nice glow. There we go. That rhymes. Now let's put some trees, bigger trees, in the right-hand corner. Now, I'm taking my fan brush. You can use a small one or the medium one. And you're going to go back in and get some black paint. So you want a really dark paint so it'll stand out because everything is really dark. So let's see how this works out. So just all you have to do is the same thing you did with the small trees. But this time you're going to make some bigger trees. So you're going to make tap and just tap, get your tops and tap again. Okay? And tap. And as you're coming over, get a bit smaller. Come down a little further to make small trees. So you get the bigger trees and you have some smaller trees right here. So they're going to be behind your cabin. So let's get those on there. We'll bring them over to about here. Maybe some little trees here. There we go. Good. So that's at least the shape. Alright. So that's just a shape for now, and then we're going to bring them to life. And what you're going to do is you're going to get some the black paint, and you're going to add some white to the black to get a grayish color with some blue. Okay, some blue and black, some red maybe, just to get something on there with a bit of white to lighten it up on your fan brush. And just take your fan brush and go back over these again just to get some shapes. There we go. Just tap, tap, tap again. Tap, tap, tap. I'm just using a smaller fan brush, but you can use the bigger one again. So let's see, it's just shaping up there now. We're just getting some trees in there. Make sure you get those tops. Good. Now we'll be going over these again, so don't worry. Like I said, whenever you do your paintings, you may have to go back several times. Right now we're just putting on some shapes the best way we can, and figuring out where everything goes, and then that's when you start doing your small details to get everything to look like the way you want it to look. So now we know where those dark trees are. See? Now they're not finished, but that's a start. Okay, good. Now while we're waiting for those trees to dry, let's take our tape off. Okay? So we'll take our tape off so that we can work at the bottom of the canvas. Good. Now the bottom of the canvas, the foreground, as you can see, is all snow and all kinds of things going on there. But as you know, we're just going to put some paint on there first to get it started. So get your flat bristle brush, medium or ½ inch or an inch, whatever you can work with. And just take the same color that you made with the sky. So just the brown and black and blue and red. And we lighten it up a little bit with some white. Just to get a nice dark color. This is going to be our underpainting for the snow. So just put that on down here. Doesn't matter how you put it on. Just to get the color on there, just get it ready for our snow. So you don't have to make your hills and everything now. You just want to get that paint on there. So keep going. Get it all painted down on the bottom. Good. Go up underneath here. I'll go up under there in a second. And we'll get all that on there. See, sometimes when I go back, the colors are different. I don't mind that. I like that, actually, because I'm getting all different shades. All different shades. Watch this one. It's almost a gray color. See, then you can use that for shadows under your snow. Nice. Yeah, there we go. Red and blue. Blue and red. Some brown. Some black. If you don't want to put the black in there, you don't have to. If you just want a really dark underpainting, purplish color underpainting, you can put just red and blue, a little bit of brown, and then you'll have a nice dark underpainting. Okay, so let's just get that on there. Good. And once you get that on, then that's your shadow color for your snow. In order for white to look white, you have to have shadows under the white to bring out the white. Darks against the lights. Now, keep going up under there until you get that filled in. Good. Now the next step is to get some snow on that dark paint, and if you can, keep your paint wet so that we can put on our white snow, but yet we'll get some shadows. So if you're having a problem keeping it wet, just mist it. Mist, 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 mist. And that'll help keep it wet. So now, if your brush is dirty, that's okay. Pick up some white paint, and start putting on some snow. So we're going to go flat for now. We're not going to worry about putting all these details and everything, and we'll just put some snow on here and see how it picks up the paint underneath. That's what you need to do, see? And that way you get some shadows. And we will be putting more paint on top of that after, but just get this on there first. And see, you get some white on there. So when you get the white on, let the white shine through there. Don't keep going over and over it. That way what will happen is you'll just get one color. But right now we're just putting on some snow. So we're just going to put it on this way for now, just so we can get it started with the snow. Okay? You can go straight across if you like. Just want to get some of that snow on there. Good. And we will be we'll probably let this one dry, and then we'll start going in with some more snow. It'll be shorter strokes the next time. The stroke that you're using now, it's pretty straightforward. Just put it on there. Let it blend with the paint underneath, but don't let it blend to the point where it's only one color, because you want to get some of that white snow on there. That's good. Lots of paint on your brush. Good. Now, I know that looks like you're saying, where's the snow? But that's a start. That's a beginning. There's lots of ways to do paintings and start them, and you know, put your paints on. Everybody does it differently. I'm just trying my best to make it as simple as possible for you. So now we got some snow on there. That doesn't look too bad so far. Nice. So let's lighten up these big trees back here, the ones that are closer to us. These are the further away ones. And these over here that we tapped on some black to get some tree shapes back here, let's lighten them up so you can see them and see the shapes. So take your fan brush again, and this time with the dark paint that you used for your underpainting for the snow, mix that up and add some white. Okay, so just get some white and mix that in just to brighten it up a bit more on your fan brush. I'm using a fairly big fan brush, as you can see, and it's got bristles on it. So I'm just going to go back over those trees again, just so that a nice little river in here, nice and dark. So a bit of black and blue and brown, just to get something there for now. So let's go and widen that up. So you got a little bit of a shape there. And we can always shape it up again after. Like I said, I'm trying to show you that, you know, nothing is written in stone. You put your shapes on. You don't like them, you change them. You don't like the colors, you change them. That's what painting is all about. Having fun. Okay. Now the paint underneath of mine is wet. It'd be better if that was dry, because then you'd be able to put it on without mixing, and you'd have a really nice dark. So I'm just going to put this on like this for now. I'm just going to put on a little river where I think I want it. And like I said, the paint is wet for me, so you guys wait for your paint to dry. If you already started while your paint is wet, that's okay. At least let's get our shape, and then we will go back over it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there like that until it dries. Then I'll come back and put black paint on it. So at least we got a shape. Good. Now if it's not black enough for you, just add some more black paint and a little bit of blue, and go back in and fill it in again. So you can have a nice dark little river passing by there. And we'll fix this up after. Just got to get something there when the cabin goes there. Okay, so we'll just put all that on there. Make it nice and dark. And this will be shaped up again when we put our snow on. But we do want to get something here that looks nice and dark. There we go. So I just add a little bit of blue to my black. Just using a small flat brush. There we go. We're almost done with that now. And like I said, you can bring it over as far as you want, because we will be getting it all shaped up. Now, there we go. So after you get this done, then we'll start adding some highlights to our snow. There we go. So we want to make it big enough so we can bring the snow down over the edges. There we go. Good. Marvelous. Now let's start adding some snow, some more snow. So you can get white with a little tiny bit of blue in it. We don't want it too white yet. We're just trying to get some shapes. So I got a small bristle brush, and I just added some blue and white, my messy palette. And I'm going to go over here and start pulling over and pulling down towards the river. See? Over and down. There we go. Over. I blued it up. A little bit of blue. So we can keep some of our shadows. Oops. That's okay. So keep going. Keep adding snow. So you go over and down towards the river. Go over and down towards the river. Over. And we'll skip some of the shadows. We just make short strokes and down towards the river. When you get close to the river, straighten out your line. Straighten out your, go horizontal. Okay, so up and down. There we go. Bring over some more snow. Just quick little strokes, and that will help you leave some shadows. Good. And over. And down. Over and down. And over towards the river. Good. Short pull in, some strokes, and down. As you get over and down, then over towards the river. Down, that'll make it look like it's on a hill. So right now, I'm not too worried about, just trying to keep some shadows, and I'm just trying to get the shape of the snow hill. Okay, so just over and down and straight. Over and down and horizontal. Over and down and horizontal. Good. So we'll get our paint and we will use the fan brush, and you got your top, and just take the fan brush and go back and forth. Tap, tap, tap. Out to the left and out to the right and out to the left and out to the right and out to the left. More paint. Okay. Don't worry about it too much right now. Let's just get the shape going first. Okay, there we go. Out to the right and out to the left. Skip down if you want to. Out to the right and out to the left. Tap, tap, tap. Out to the right and out to the left. It might look funny now, but I'm just trying to get a shape of a tree. Okay, there we go. Now you can tap in the middle to fill in those empty spaces. Tap in the middle, and now you got your branches on the left and on the right. And there we go. Now you can shape it up a little better that you got your branches. Good. And let's fill it in down here. Oh, it looks like a Christmas tree almost. So, good. So I'm just keep poking at the edges here just to make sure I get enough branches coming out on the edge there. This might end up being 2 trees yet. I might put another little top up there. Just let's see what we can do. Good. Yep, so shape up your tree. And at least you got the shape there now. Now, let's see what we can do with that tree. Put a bit of white and blue paint on the corner of your fan brush, and let's see if we can just tap on the very edges of that tree, just the very edge, just see if we can get some shape. All right, just skip down away, come up in this branch here, jump down into the next branch, and jump down into the next branch. And let's just do it that way so that you can get the shape of the tree. Get some more paint if you need it. Get this one down here. Oops. Whoopsie whoops. See, you can see all my mistakes. Now, there we go. So that's just the edge of that tree there. And wipe off your brush and just tap on the inside of where you just made that. And that way we'll get some more shape of the tree. See? Hopefully you can see that. These are too white, just pounce over them again. Okay, we got some edges of the tree there. Nice, okay, that's not too bad. A bit more blue and white on your brush. This time more blue than white because you want to keep it a bit dull for inside the back of the tree here. Wipe off your brush if you get too much paint on it. There we go. And if you get too much paint on it, it doesn't look like a tree, then go back over it with your black. Now we're getting a little bit of a tree here. Good. So just tap until you get the shape that you want. We'll go back to the back side here now. So you don't need too much a lighter color paint because we want the white to be on the front. So wipe off your brush because I got a bit too much paint on my brush. So I'm just going to get on the other side here and just tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah, start to shape up. Just never had enough paint on my brush. I'm going to get paint, I'm going to wipe it off a bit, and I'm going to tap out here. So you can see it's starting to shape up now. Now I know there's probably an easier way than this, but this is fun. It's okay. Just tap, 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 tap. That's a cool tree. Look at that. That's a bit much paint up here because that's in the back, but what we can do is take some white paint on the corner of our brush, a tiny bit of blue, my brush is dirty, and just brighten up these edges here. And we'll do that again now after this dries a bit. And we'll add some more color to, some more lightness to this side of the tree so it looks like the moon is shining on it. Okay, now. Okay, as you can see, I have my cabin drawn, and see, I got the perspective correct because I'll show you how to do a little trick, how to get that done, because the roof on this one slants down a little bit towards the horizon, but this one here that I did, I just did that, I just threw it in there. I didn't even think about perspective. I just was doing it, so you can do that too. I mean, you can see it doesn't look, it looks pretty good, but I want to show you anyway how I got this perspective. So I'm going to take that out. That's only chalk, so I can wipe it out with a clean brush. No paint on it whatsoever. And just get rid of that. Now that's a bit wet. Okay, that's no problem. So let it dry, and then I'll show you how I got that perspective. Now all I did was I took a ruler and a piece of chalk. I was thinking about doing it in pencil, but if you don't get it right in the first try, then you have to try to erase it or paint over it. So there's the horizon line. The horizon line is the line between the sky and the land. And I'm just going to draw a line with my chalk. Just go over, we don't need to go all the way over, just enough so we can get perspective. So what I did, draw a line there, and I put a mark here for this, the dot where you follow your lines. And so the cabin is going around here somewhere, and the bottom of it, I'm going to put the bottom of the roof on the edge of the snow up here. So now what we have to do is go on your line with your ruler and then bring it up to about high as you think you want your roof. So you just draw a line there, and you can use that to help you get your roof slanted down so that it looks in perspective with the land. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see, I might have it too far over. So I'm going to draw a line here, slanted back, okay, and then I'm going to draw another line over this way, like I'm making the letter A. And then I'm going to come back on this line, and then I'm going to go back with another slanted line for the roof. Good. Now you can make another line if you want to get the bottom of the cabin. So let's do another one right here. So go on that line, where that dot is. Start there, and then bring your ruler down and draw a line. And then you just bring the bottom of your cabin down. That will bring it down so that it looks like it's in the right place, and it looks like it's in the right perspective. So let's get rid of all this, and now we have our cabin started. And if you want, you can change it up, because I want to put some snow under there. But we got the way the roof is supposed to go towards the land. Simple as that. So I'll just show you on paper. You can do this on paper also. So just draw your horizontal line and then put a dot, and then make your lines coming out to get where you want to put your cabin. And then put your cabin in the middle of those lines, and it gives it the right perspective. And you probably already know about that, but some people don't know for sure. So now let's just paint in the cabin dark brown. So add a bit of blue and brown together. A bit of brown, a bit of blue together, just to, and more brown than blue. Okay? And then you're going to paint the front of the cabin. This way we can see where it's to, and you can have your cabin bigger or smaller. It's up to you. So that's that part and that part. There we go. That's the bottom. Like I said, we'll be putting some snow around the bottom of it there. And I want to get a corner there. That should do it for the bottom. And then we'll go over this a couple more times. I did my cabin actually about 5 times before I got it right, and before I got it the way I wanted it. So I'm just going to put a dark, let's see, bit of white. I'm going to put an undercoating, another painting for my roof. I'm going to put red and blue and brown together, and I'm going to paint the roof. Oh, those chalk lines will be coming off soon. But, you know, it looks good. There we go. That's a cool little cabin. Isn't that nice? Now let's add a few more highlights to our snow. Some little quick strokes up here. Right there and here. And see how it's brightening up? And just come down into the river. Come down into the river. Skip over some blues. The dark colors that you put there. Just drag on some white. I'm just using a bristle brush. A small one. I'm bringing it right out into the river. Make sure when you go in the river you're going horizontal. Okay, so when you go over the hill, you just go over the hill. And then you go horizontal. Now I've had to do highlights on the other painting several times. So you're doing this with me, and when you stop the video and you want to finish your painting, you keep adding highlights until you're happy with it. Because I'm doing a video, so I'm only going to do the basic painting to get you started. And then you're going to take your painting when you're finished looking at this one, and you're going to do all the details, which are just basically highlights, making sure your tree is in good shape. Make sure it's shaped the way you want it. Okay, so just put on some highlights, but see how I left some blues? That helps keep the shadows, makes the white shine, come out more. So I'm just pulling down again, down, down, over the hill, around the cabin. Good. Put a little bit of snow back here, down into the river. Good. And down into the river. Here we go. Now, like I said, we'll probably be going over this a couple of times. I may just do the very, very basics, and I'll let you do it yourself, and then you can send me your painting, or if you need any help with anything, I'll do my best to help you. And I'll put my email in my description, and that way you can email me whenever you want to. I check my emails every day, and I try to get back to everybody as fast as I can. I really appreciate your emails. I really appreciate your comments. I'm so happy you're looking at my videos. It wouldn't be worth, I wouldn't do this if nobody's looking at it. Alright, so I'm just going to scoop in some snow. I'm just scraping it on, just leaving some space. I'm just scraping on some white. That's it. Good. Hopefully my arm's not in the way. Okay, we'll just leave that for now. Leave that for now, because we're going to put more in there. So you can bring some out into the river if you want. Bring out some in the river. Make sure you're horizontal. Say to yourself, horizontal, horizontal. Because if you end up going down that way, it'll look odd. Okay? Don't want it to look odd. Now, good. There we go. Just make sure You get some nice humps of snow there. Okay, I picked up some red by accident. We don't want red in there yet. We might want red in there later. Look, see how you can just add a bit of white here and there now that you got most of it on, and it comes out. It stands out. See? Just scrape it on. But go with the ladle end. Go with the ladle end. Leave some shadows horizontal into the river. Perfect. Good. Now let's do a little fence, and let's use perspective to help us with the fence. So that dot was right here, and the straight line was the horizontal line. And just take it, your ruler, and let's see how this is going to work out. Let's try the fence right here. Just draw a straight line right over. Now wait till your paint dries first. When your paint dries, you do that, and then you can put some brown and a little tiny brush, a tiny flat brush, sable, and a little bit of brown on one side and a bit of a black and blue on the other side. Brown and black and blue. And then you're just going to take your brush and you're going to use that line as a guide. And we'll put a little fence here, touch and pull, and another little one here. Now you could put another line up here to see how tall you want to go with them. And let's say about here and here, because the closer they get, the bigger they are. So we'll use that for a guide. There we go. Just so it's sticking out a bit. On the back of the rock, up over the rock, and a little bit sticking out, a little bit up here, sticking out here. Snow everywhere. Just making the rocks look like they're sticking out. They're under the snow. So I'll just sort of bury them back in. Whoops, that one's a bit wet. That's wet. That's alright when it dries. I'll just go back over it. Like I said, I like you seeing my mistakes, because that way you know that when you make mistakes, you know how to fix them. Okay, see, I'm making a mess because they are. So while waiting for those to dry, let's do something else. So now we will make some. I'm going to make some yellow and blue. Put that together, make a green. Nice to be able to mix your own colors every now and then, so I'll just do that for you. And just pull up some of these grasses down here. So when you make your green with your yellow and blue, drag it again through just the yellow, okay? So just pull up some of these grasses here. Okay. Pull up, pull up, pull up, to the left, to the right. Okay, let's see. So we got green. What I did, I'll show you. I took my yellow and I took my green, blue, and I put it over here and made green, and then I'm dragging it through the yellow. And I'll put some of these in here. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. To the left, to the right, straight up. There we go. And maybe, let's see where else they could be. Maybe they're around some of these rocks here. Some smaller ones. There we go. That's nice. Look at that. Maybe they're over here. There's a couple down here. Wherever you want them. Alright. I'll probably put a couple over here. Oops. Okay. Good. So, add a few more until you're happy with them. Make sure you're happy. That's all that matters. Being happy. Painting makes me happy. There we go. I'll just leave that at that for now. Let's make a few little bushes. How about a few little bushes? Yeah, there we go. Let's see. some black in that green mixture that you made. And just tap on a bush. Let me see. How about over here along the river? So just tap that so it all spreads out. You don't want one big blob. Just like that. Now just going right down the river. There we go. And we'll put some snow on top of that. Where else would you want one? Probably down here where you made your grasses to give it some dark colors with the lighter colors. And maybe there's some, no, I think I'll leave that. You can make some there next to the house if you like. Alright. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay, so what we'll do is get some of that there so we can see it. I'm trying to make it lighter. Oops. Now we'll continue on with our bushes, and we have some bushes down in this corner and a few extras down here, some extra shadows in your snow if you need them. And so we'll just put some highlights on our bushes, a little bit of white snow, just add a little tiny bit of blue, so we don't want it to be chalky white, and just put a few up here in this corner. Just tap on the very top of the dark underpainting that you did. Nice. And a few little ones here. We don't want to overpower them. I kind of like the dark look there. There we go. And a little bit down here in the corner. So, put that outside there for you so you can see it. And just tap on top of there. Just a bit of white snow on top of the dark. That's it. That's it, just to give it a, I'm just using a flat bristle brush. Okay, and you can do whatever touch-ups you want, and add more snow to the roof of your house. Just pick at it and pick at it until you look at it and say, oh, I like that. Because there's so much you can do. Now if you pick at something and you go over it and you ruin it, or you just can't see it anymore, just go back with the original color. If it's a black bush, then go back in with black. So let's put little windows in the cabin there. So just pick up some yellow on a small flat brush so we can get that on there. A small flat brush, and just put your windows, just pull down, pull down. A couple little windows. And maybe one little one up here just to say there's a bit of light. Okay, and then for your door, just get pure black so we make it really nice and dark. Same brush, and just pull, touch and pull, okay? Touch and pull a door. There we go. Now, good. Now you can put a little chimney on the roof if you want, with some smoke coming out of it. So let's just put a bit of brown and a bit of black on our brush, and just touch like you did with the window. Just touch and pull, just a little chimney. There we go. You can barely see it, but when you put a highlight on that, you'll be able to see it perfect. So we'll put a little highlight on the back here where the moon is shining on the chimney. Good. Good. And now you're going to make a little smoke. So just get a small flat brush. Use the same one long as it's really, really clean, okay? Because you're going to pick up some white, a little bit of blue again. A little bit of white, a little bit of blue. And you're going to wipe it off in your tissue. So wipe it all off in your tissue, so that you got barely any paint on it. Same as you did the glow around the moon. And on the corner of your brush, take your brush and make these little circles. And a little bit of paint. A little bit of smoke coming off there. See? So touch up over the chimney and the corner of your brush with a little bit of paint on it, and pull it way up into the sky. And it's fading off into the sky. There we go. Simple as pie. Now, like I said, if you need more shadows on your snow, just put more shadow in. I'll show you now what I did. I just took some darker shadows and I put them in here like that. Put them all over if you want more shadow. Also brought out some of these into the river with my shadow color. That way I can use them to make it look like there's ice and the snow in the river. So just get the purplish color, pull it out into your river, and then pick up some white while the paint is still wet, and then put some white on top of that to shape that up. And shape it up, see? Shape it up on the top and pull out to shape it up so you can get some highlights on it. So, do another couple over here. Make sure they're horizontal. They look much better if they're horizontal. Good. So you can straighten all those up the way you want them. And put some more snow wherever you think you need it. You want to bury those bushes in the snow. There we go. Good. And then with your shadows that you just put on, put a bit of white on top of your shadows. Just scrape a little bit here and scrape a little bit there. So if you want more snow, now you can go back as many times as you want to highlight some of these areas. Alright, so just put a little more white on top of your shadows. That'll give you some nice highlights in the snow. Good. Some will stand out more than others. Just put them anywhere you want. And if you need more white over here, just pick a spot and pull on some white. Pick a spot, put on some white. Pick a spot, put on some white. And that will give you some nice highlights. So, that's good. So let's shimmer up the water a little bit. So take a flat brush, if you got a chisel, if you got a bristle brush, that would be good because you can scrape it on. Some kind of a bristle brush. And just put some white, a little bit of blue, or your purple color on your brush, and then let's wipe it off in our tissue and just scrape on some highlights there underneath those little rocks that you did. See how the bristle brush gives it more texture, right? A little bit under the rock here. I'm barely touching the canvas because I don't want too much paint coming off in blobs. Yeah, just a little shimmer. More shimmer up here by the moon. So you can do, you know, many things with your painting. You can also trim out your windows a little bit with some brown paint and a little white top on there. Make it look like just some snow on it. Just trim out get a bit of brown paint and go around your windows to shape them up, and then put a bit of white on top to just make them look like a nice window with a bit of snow hanging off. We can also put some icicles hanging off the roof of the house. Just take a long liner brush and a bit of white paint and take it and pull these little tiny icicles down off the roof. Here they are. See, a couple of little icicles you hang off the edge there. Just pull down some nice little, maybe there's one here in the corner. It's a big one. A couple here. Wherever you think they might be. It's a funny looking one. Try to make them nice and skinny and make them look like they're touch the roof and pull down. Okay? So, there's little icicles, and so maybe you might need a few more shadows. Don't get afraid to put in the shadows. You can always put white on top. And you could also highlight your trees a little bit more if you want with a fan brush. So I just want you to go ahead and you finish it, and then you can let me see your painting, or you can ask me questions if you're having any problems. And then just put some more, little bit of highlight wherever you think you need it to bring it out more. If you want a little bit of white and a bit of blue, just take it and put little bits, just tiny bits this time, because if you almost got your painting done, you don't want to have to redo sections of it when it's almost done already. So just a little highlight from the moon, maybe a little highlight down here. Maybe there's a little bit of, just tap a few little dots, so that it looks like there's some light from the moon. See that? Little dots on top of where you think the trees might be. Maybe there's a few little ones over here. That's all. It's just an illusion. If you can create a really good illusion, then you're doing wonderful. Somebody looks at your painting and says, wow, just look how nice and bright the trees are from the moon. See, all you did was tap on a little bit of white. So that's it. And one more little thing. Take a very small brush, small flat brush, and put some white on one side and a little bit of your purple color on the other side. And put a few little rocks in here if you want them. Touch, look, just touch. See, you don't have to do very much at all. You can put them wherever you want them. Just a few little tiny rocks here and there. Little ice rock, or ice pellets, or ice. They could be bits of snow or ice on top of the water. You can highlight them a little bit. There we go. Just take your pure white when you get your darker color on there. Your underpainting. And if there's anything else you want to do with it, go ahead, There was a little, let's see, there's a little stick going across here so they can get across the river. Just pull in a little stick like that. Pull up. So you need a small brush for that one. Small flat brush, if you have one there. Just put brown on one side and white on the other, and touch and pull. Oops, okay. Touch and pull. And that will give you a little stick going across the river. Maybe there's a little piece hanging up here. Touch and pull. There we go. And then you just put a little bit of highlight on that so you can see it. You can see the stick. There we go. It's just a little stick in the river. You can make a little bridge. Be nice. If you want a little bridge. Yeah, and that's it. You just put a little stick here. And if you put a brown on first, that's good, because then you can just take pure white and put on top of it as if it's snow on top of there. There we go. A little bit of snow on top of there. And that's their little way to get across the river. And if you want to put a few highlights in the snow over here where the light is shining out, put a little bit of light there by your cabin, a bit of white, a little bit of yellow, shining out of the window there. Just tap it on, tap, tap, tap. That's all you have to do. Tap, 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 tap. Just to brighten up the edge there. There we go. Maybe you want to put some more snow up here. So all the little details that you want to do, go back and do that. Just go in and have some fun and play with these little tiny details. So I'll leave that for now. And if you got any questions or you need any more advice on this painting, you give me a shout. This is Allison Pryor signing off. See you in the next video.